Let me ask you something kind of dangerous. If you woke up tomorrow and your entire life was wiped clean, no job, no city, no relationship, no "this is who I am" story, would you survive that? Or would you secretly feel relieved? Most people hear that and freeze. Their brain goes straight to panic. I'd lose everything I've built. I'd look like a failure. I'd have to start from zero again. But if you're an Aquarius, there is a part of you, maybe a part you don't admit out loud, that hears the same scenario and thinks, scary? Yes. But impossible? No. Maybe that's exactly what I've always been built for. Because underneath all the weirdness, all the independence, all the "you're so hard to understand," Aquarius has a hidden superpower. You can hit reset on your life and rebuild from zero without losing yourself. In fact, every time your life breaks, you don't just come back, you come back upgraded. Think about how most people build their identity. They glue it to a job title. I'm a nurse. I'm an engineer. I'm a manager. They glue it to a relationship. I'm his girlfriend. I'm her husband. They glue it to a city. I'm from here. I belong here. This is my place. Now imagine any of that being taken away. For them, it feels like a death. Lose the job, lose yourself. Move away, lose yourself. End the relationship, lose yourself. Their identity is like a costume, and if you rip it off, they feel naked and empty underneath. Aquarius, you don't work like that. You don't see yourself as a costume. You're not just the job, the relationship, the city, or the aesthetic. You are the system underneath. You're not the app on the screen, you're the operating system. The job, the city, the look, the friend group, that's just the theme. You can change the theme. You can uninstall the app. The core program is still you. That's why, when life starts pushing you toward a cliff, you don't just cling harder. At some point, something inside you says, jump. Because staying here is the real way to die. Picture this. You're in a good job. The kind of job people post about on LinkedIn. Your parents are proud. Your friends tell you how lucky you are. On paper, you're set. Stable paycheck. Solid company. Clear path. But inside, you feel like you're fading. You wake up already tired. You sit at your desk and feel your brain shutting down. Your ideas have nowhere to go. Your curiosity is bored. You stare at the screen and think, if I'm still doing this 5 years from now, will I even recognize myself? Most people push that thought away. They tell themselves, this is life. Suck it up. Be grateful. They shrink every time that little voice speaks. Aquarius listens. There's always a day when the quiet discomfort turns into a loud, obvious truth. This is not my chapter anymore. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. You might stay a little longer, you might bargain with yourself, but deep down you know you're stalling. You know this version of your life is already expired. That's when your reset power starts humming. You start looking at your life differently. Not as a prison you're stuck in, but as a story you're allowed to stop writing. You think, this job wasn't a mistake. It got me here. It taught me things. But it's not the final version of me. You don't need a big meltdown. You don't need to convince everyone. You just quietly decide, I'm done playing small. Time to build something that actually fits. From the outside, people think you're irresponsible. You're really going to quit. Do you know how many people would kill for your position? Are you sure you're not being dramatic? But you're not destroying your life. You're refusing to live one that's already dead. And sometimes, it doesn't stop at the job. For Aquarius, the reset can be bigger, deeper, louder. Maybe the city you live in starts to feel too tight. The same streets, the same gossip, the same routines. The same people telling the same stories about who you are and what you always do. One day you look around and think, none of this feels like my future anymore. It only feels like my past. Most people would rather stay in a place that slowly drains them than step into the unknown. They tell themselves, at least here people know me. At least I belong somewhere. You start imagining something else, a place where no one knows your history, where nobody says, you've always been like this, where nobody traps you in how you were at 17 or 25, a place where you can show up as the version of you that exists now, not the one everyone is used to. So you do the wild thing. You pack your life into boxes and suitcases. You sign that lease in a different city or even a different country. You hug a few people goodbye, and others just watch you drift away. The first night alone in that new place, that's a mini movie in itself. You're sitting on the floor because the furniture isn't even set up yet. Your phone is full of contacts, but no one is down the street. The streets outside sound different. You taste that weird mix of terror and freedom in your throat. For a moment, your mind screams, "What did I just do? I had a life. Now I have nothing." But then you realize something. This nothing is actually open space. No one here has a story about you. No one here expects you to stay in an old role. You are not trapped in your past. You're just you. Free, raw, unlabeled. That's when you do what Aquarius does best. You start building from zero. New routes you walk every day. New coffee shop where the barista doesn't know your usual order yet. New people who don't compare you to who you were 10 years ago. New choices that align with who you are now, not who you were back then. This is what scares other people about you. You are willing to be nobody for a while, so you can become somebody more honest. And it's not always about big geography shifts. Some of your most powerful rebirths start in the most ordinary place, your mirror. There are days when you catch your reflection and think, why am I still living like this version of me? Maybe your style doesn't match how you feel inside anymore. Maybe your social media looks like a highlight reel for a life you don't even like. Maybe your routines belong to a person you no longer are. A lot of people will try to make tiny adjustments. Change one habit. Buy a couple of new outfits. Post slightly different content. You're more radical. You cut your hair in a way that makes you feel like you're finally visible to yourself. You donate clothes that no longer carry your energy. You unfollow accounts that make you feel stuck or small. You stop forcing conversations that died a long time ago. You pull back your energy from spaces that no longer feel like home. It looks small from the outside, just a haircut, a closet clean out, a social media refresh. But inside, those are big doors closing and bigger ones opening. It's you saying, I will not decorate a life that doesn't fit me anymore. And then there's the deepest reset of all, people. Aquarius understands something a lot of others struggle with. Not every person is meant to walk with you through every version of your life. Some friendships are chapters. Some relationships are teachers. Some communities are bridges, not destinations. You can feel when a connection has expired. The conversation goes on, but the soul of it is gone. You keep replaying old jokes, old stories, old versions of yourselves. There is no growth, just nostalgia holding hands with fear. Most people will cling, because the idea of losing people is scarier than losing themselves. They'll stay in friendships that drain them. They'll shrink to fit relationships that stopped loving who they're becoming. They'll show up in rooms where their spirit is already gone. You reach a quiet, painful conclusion. If I have to abandon myself to stay, that's not love. That's self-betrayal. So you do the hardest, bravest thing. You stop over-explaining. You stop begging people to see you. You slowly step back. You answer less. You show up less. You choose silence over pretending. From the outside, it looks cold. People say, you just cut people off. You changed. You disappeared. But what they don't see is that you're not walking away to hurt them. You're walking away because the version of you that belonged there no longer exists. You are making space for the future, even if nobody understands it yet. Here's the brutal, beautiful truth about you, Aquarius. When most people break, they try to go back. When you break, you go forward. They want to glue the old life back together, make it look the same from a distance. You look at the broken pieces and think, what if I don't put this back the same way? What if I build something new entirely? Where others see failure, you see a loading screen. Yes, it hurts. Yes, you question yourself at 3 a.m. Yes, you have nights where you wish you could be normal and just settle. But even in your darkest moments, there is a small, stubborn flame inside you that says, I'm not done yet. There is another version of me I haven't met. That's your magic. So if you're in the middle of a reset right now, if you've quit something, left somewhere, ended a chapter, or simply realized, I can't keep living as this old version of myself, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too much for wanting more. You are an Aquarius in the middle of a transformation. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from everything you've survived. Now I want you to think about your own life. How many times did you think, this is it? I'm done. I can't come back from this. And then later you looked back and thought, if that hadn't happened, I never would have become who I am now. That's not an accident. That's your pattern. That's your rebirth code. So tell me this, quietly, just between you and you. What version are you on right now? Are you Aquarius 2.0, 5.0, 11.7, And are you willing to honor every break as the moment you actually leveled up? If this feels like someone just read your diary out loud, don't ignore that. Take a second, breathe, and own it. You are the sign that can lose almost everything on the outside and still keep the most important thing intact: your core, your vision, your future. If you're comfortable, share in the comments the biggest reset you've ever gone through. The job you left, the city you walked away from, the version of yourself you buried so a braver one could rise. Your story might be the push another Aquarius needs right now. And if this spoke to you, don't just scroll away. Hit like so more Aquarians find this. Share it with the one person you know who keeps blowing up their life right before they level up. And subscribe if you want to keep exploring the real, raw psychology of your sign, beyond the cliches, beyond the memes. Because for Aquarius, when life knocks you down, that's not the end. That's the universe quietly saying, new version available, ready to upgrade.